Improving productivity tops many economists' priorities for economic growth. But productivity has increased annually by only 0.5% for the last 15 years, far less than at the end of the 1990s and the beginning of this century. A recent survey revealed that 89% of employers admit to wasting time with workers busy doing nothing in made-up jobs or dawdling over work that should take just minutes. Idleness may be disguised by work descriptions such as brand evangelist, customer happiness specialist, and director of first impressions. Those are real job titles. Is the workplace full of people doing nothing? Andre Spicer is Executive Dean of the Bayes Business School and joins me now. Andre, is it your feeling that we really do have a productivity problem in Britain? Is it true that people are doing non-jobs and that people are idle in their places of work?
So if we just take the first point, which is about productivity, one of the biggest blights of the UK economy is the fact that our productivity growth is fairly flat. And if we compare it to our competitors, the US, many European countries, Asian countries, their productivity is growing. Now, why is our productivity flat? One part of it is our poor infrastructure. Another part of it is poor quality management. A third part is the fact that many people are doing jobs which they find very difficult to be productive in, or perhaps they escape from pushing the job forward and being particularly productive. Now, one of the reasons for that is that often people are in jobs where they're doing work which they themselves do not think needs to be done. And the worst case is when people are in jobs where they have a huge task to do. It's very important, but they feel like that task is crowded out. So let me just give you one example before I stop. Teachers in the UK, so they work the longest hours amongst teachers in Europe. But if you actually look at the time which they spend face-to-face teaching students, it's actually amongst the shortest. So it suggests that their crucial job, which is teaching children, is getting crowded out by all sorts of other stuff, which might not be particularly meaningful.
Andre, the infrastructure in London, where I live, is pretty good. The commute is not a bad one. Let's go then to the question of management, which you mentioned. And it strikes me that there seems to be poor management in both the private and the public sector. Why are managers not better prepared and better trained in Britain, do you think?
Well, there's a long tradition in Britain of amateurism when it came to management. So the first business schools and management schools were set up in most other countries, developed countries, over 100 years ago. The first business school in the UK was set up, London Business School and Manchester Business School, in the mid-1950s. Sure, we've had a lot of managers being produced during that time, but often being fairly ineffective. So what you tend to find is large firms tend to be pretty productive and have pretty good quality management. It's the small and medium firms which are often left a little bit wanting. You also see the kind of same thing happening in the public sector, where quality of management could certainly be improved. And that's something we as a business school see as important in our mission.